Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Can we talk about Taylor Swift? Because everyone seems to be talking about Swiftie at the moment. Is this a ploy? Is she promoting 1989, the new release that's coming out, or the re-release of it next week? Is it Jess next week? October 27, yes,
Jesus,
another month.
Jess.
Okay, anyway, so Travis Kelce, we need to go into this. She was seen watching him. They flogged, I think, the Chicago Bears or whatever. The 70 points to zip.
Don't worry about the footy, mate.
He played really, really well.
Yeah, she was sitting next to his mum.
They walked out hand in hand. What's going on here? What I do want to ask about this morning is, when you first started going out with someone, did you find out something about them that just completely turned you off them?
Oh, no.
Now,
You're talking about what he was wearing?
No, I'm talking about Travis Kelce. I think is a bit of a ladies' man.
Oh,
Oh, why? What are the stats on that?
Well, here's a little bit
Triple
of proof.
figure.
In 2016, Travis Kelce was part of a show called where he was dating 50 women from 50 states in the US.
Wow.
They were all vying for his love.
Oh, like a Bachelor-style show.
He went on an episode with Andy Cohen. We've had Andy Cohen on the show before.
Yeah.
And there was a Real Housewife on there from New York City. Her name was Ramona Singer, and she was just drilling him about all these women and what he got out of it. And this is what he had to say.
Is it a deal breaker if a girl won't sleep with you after the third date?
The third date, I feel like that's the breaker right there.
What did your mother teach you?
Put some questions in there.
Is it a deal breaker if a girl has fake boobs?
As long as she's comfortable and very confident in what she looks like, I'm all for it.
Is it a deal breaker if a girl is obsessed with taking selfies?
Yeah, that's definitely a deal breaker. That's too much. You can't be snapping all day, just straight selfies.
It's no good.
People are telling Taylor Swift to walk away from him right now, dating 50 girls, talking about his deal breakers.
She'd take a few selfies too, wouldn't she, Taylor?
Well, see, this is the thing. Fake boobs, he's into those as well. I suppose he answered it quite well.
Yeah, I don't think he said... He just said if the woman is feeling comfortable in her own skin,
Yes.
Well,
then
that's what I
he's
like.
all for it. I think he
Yep.
finished that sentence with.
Yeah. If he's comfortable in their skin, yeah.
I do want to hear from people, though. 13, 24, 10, you started dating someone for the first time and then you got told something about them that just completely was a deal breaker.
Yeah, it felt like a bit of a waste of time because you started falling in love with them and then it's like, oh no.
See, when you've heard, I don't know how you feel about it, but when I always really struggled to, I went out with a girl once before who went out with one of my mates and I really struggled with that.
Yeah.
To get...
Why? Because of the chat around it or what your other mates would think?
On both sides, I felt really bad that I started dating her and I didn't get his permission first. I mean, this was a previous one. It was like a year or two before that. But even then, I just felt guilt that I didn't ask him, that can I go out with her?
I went out with a girl and her dad was in prison. Unfortunately.
What?
Oh, corporate disaster to do with an airline.
A real thug.
Insider trading.
But it was like, I didn't like it that I was the guy going out with a girl whose dad was in the lockup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
kind of just
Why?
wasn't great
But
for the room.
Why?
It wasn't her fault, Kate. I know she wasn't involved, but still, family dinners were a bit, oh, God, where's Dad? Oh, I
Did
wonder
you
what
get
he's
some
getting
insider
tonight.
trading out of her, though?
I mean, I got some tips, you're right, and the trade pulled off and I never got caught. No one knows about the Virgin Island accounts, but it was just awkward. He was in jail.
Adam in Mona Vale, what was your deal breaker, Adam? What happened?
Oh, mate, I started dating this girl. She was absolutely stunning. She had the hots for me, but she had a pierced nose, a diamond stud in her nose, and it was well before the time of, you know, every second girl having a pierced nose. You know, just going out and getting it because it was a fashion. Yeah, but I just couldn't cop this pierced nose.
Yeah,
she was
I
stunning.
get it.
She had the best body. She was absolutely gorgeous. But I
did she
couldn't
have
cop the
what about her
pierced nose.
personality? You're kind of leaving that bit out.
Kate, she's got a bolt in her nose.
Oh, wait up. It's a diamond.
Yeah. Do you mean just sitting on the side of the nostril there?
I hate them.
That could be quite classy if it's a nice little diamond.
I agree.
It was before they were everywhere, if you know what I mean. So I wasn't used to it. But anyway...
Did you ask her to
happen.
take it out?
No, I couldn't do that.
No, she was...
I just disappeared off into sunset.
Yeah. So,
See you later.
All right, so
Tommy,
romantic.
remember the girl that used to work here? She was really attractive, but she had a huge tattoo of a scorpion on her foot going halfway up her leg, and it was like, whoa, you've broken every rule there, I reckon. Out.
didn't know Lisa had a scorpion on her foot. Keelan's given us a call from Kirrawee. What did you find out after you started dating them, Keela?
Mate, Keelan Nova's back.
Oh, Keelan Nova. Welcome, mate. It's good to have you back.
So it's actually 2 red flags with the same woman. So the first date was told me she was a vegan, which was already bad enough for me.
Goodbye.
So, yeah, exactly.
Tough one, yeah.
Second date was all right. Third date, I was like, oh, what have you been up to today? She's like, oh, I took my kids to the hospital. I'm like, you have kids? She's like, yeah, I got 4 of them. I'm like, what?
On the third date?
Yeah. So I had to go out. I ran for the hills.
What was more challenging for you to get your head around, the veganism or the 4 kids?
Probably the vegan. That's the biggest one.
That's a tough one,
Don't you
Keela.
think you have to mention your kids on the first
Well,
date, do
that's
you
the
think?
I would have thought so.
I
would have thought
agree.
it's appropriate too, yeah.
We'll go to
Good point,
Keelan,
Kate
from
Ritchie.
Keelan to Keely now in Rouse Hill. Keely, what was your deal breaker?
After a couple dates, he brought up that he hated Taylor Swift and not just disliked her, hated her. Would troll, comment and say she has no talent and she's just a man hater. And I'm a massive Taylor fan and I'm not going to date someone like that.
See, that is fair.
Yeah, it says a lot about him, doesn't it?
You can't continue a relationship if someone has a hatred for someone like Taylor Swift.
Or a love for someone.
Yeah.
Like, when you meet people who are like, Trump
Huge
is the
Ralph Harris
greatest guy. He's misunderstood. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Kelly, how far into the relationship did you have that conversation about Taylor Swift?
It was only on the second date, so thank
Second
gosh
date.
I got a free meal and a free movie, but it wasn't worth it, and I wouldn't be going back there after. There's just no good reason to hate her. Like, you can say you don't like her music,
Well
which is
said,
wrong
Kelly.
anyway. But
Exactly.
Yeah, and trolling, like bothering to have so much hatred that you feel the need to comment.
Exactly.
And he's a huge Nickelback fan.
He's massive. Let's go to Julia in Strathfield. What was your deal breaker, Jules?
Hi there. I found out after about a month or 2 that he was a stripper.
Okay. Was that... I would have thought that would maybe work the other way, knowing the man knew how to handle himself, Julia.
Yeah, not for me. I don't like sharing like that.
Yeah.
No, knowing he's off, I'm off to work, honey, and it's like women pouring all over.
Jess got a bit of pony.
Yeah, not for me.
Julia, do you know how often he worked? Like, was he out Friday, Saturday night?
At least every weekend.
Look, it's a job, you know what I mean? And they keep themselves fit as well, Jules. You got to look at the perks of it, I suppose.
You do. You got to pay the bills, right?
Yeah, that's it. And they can make a lot of money. They keep themselves fit, Kate.
I think, it may be a short-term
Well, that's the thing. Well, Tommy, when you went to Vegas for the Thunder Down Under, I mean, you were in great nick.
Yeah.
You were earning a lot of money.
Yeah.
You came back here and you purchased yourself a unit at Maryland's. Like, it can.
Look at me now, guys. Absolutely.
If you don't want to go out with a guy who's doing hens parties, because I've seen drunk girls on men at hens parties, and that is like, do not treat us like we're a piece of meat, because we do not deserve to be handed around like some sort of cold meats platter.
I don't think anyone's handing you around.
I know
Are
what
you saying that
know.
you're stripper-like?
I'm just saying after the 6-week course I'm doing in fitness, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a hens party on coming up to summer and you need someone to do a strip show.
Hey.
I'm your man.
No, be very careful because there's going to be a meeting in the office after the show about I'm going to sell tickets. Don't worry about Tay-Tay in the suite.
Hey, I need a volunteer. I need a volunteer in the audience. Come and sit on this chair here, young lady, and plait my back hair.
Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.